unless you're ready to be uncomfortable, you're not gonna wanna do this challenge. So y'all, I just finished 75 hard last week. Now I wanna talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly of it, so you're gonna wanna stick around the end, especially if this is something you're gonna wanna do, okay? Now, I am a big boy. In order to do this, it took a lot out of me. It was a lot of work, but it would be done. I watched plenty of these 75 hard videos where people are talking about them going through it, finishing it, whatever, and they're not big people, all right? And they were talking about how, you know, I lost a couple pounds, feel good, you know, I was already in the gym, I was already eating, I was already doing my thing, already eating right, whatever, you know. So I just got through it and it was cool, we had a good time. You know what, it's not like that. I started off my little journey, my little transformation at 338 pounds, all right? That's a big boy. Up until February 1st, 2025, I had not lifted a weight unless I was moving it from one side of the garage to get it out of the way for the other side of the garage, okay? I had not done any exercise, any kind of weightlifting, any kind of dieting really for about 8 years. So I didn't feel like I could jump straight into 75 hard, being a big boy that has not worked out. Blood pressure problems, diabetic, cholesterol problems, all that good stuff, right? In case you want to check out where I made that decision or where I started that journey, I'll put a link for it up here. Check that one out. It's on my main channel, Cooking with CJ, and you'll be able to kind of see what drove me to this point. I decided I wanted to do 75 hard, but again, I did not want to try to jump into it without having some kind of movement. You gotta stretch before you run, right? I had a goal set for myself, 50 pounds in 5 months from February 1st to July 1st. I also knew that July 4th weekend, it was actually my birthday weekend. I knew that I was heading to Vegas, so I wanted to be done with the 75 hard by then. So I counted back 75 days from July 1st, and that's when I started 75 hard. And we're gonna get to the Vegas trip and what toll it took on my body, but that's a little bit later in the video. But guys, this is the hardest thing I've ever had to do. And I've been a football player for a long time when I was younger, been through many hell weeks, you know, lots of working out in my day, but being that I was just about to turn 49 and I was pretty out of shape, this was very, very hard for me. So I kind of want to go over everything that I did and how I got through it being a big boy doing it and not just, you know, someone who's skinny fat that, you know, I want to get back in a little bit of shape, right? I was looking for a lifestyle discipline change. That's why I did 75 hard. The discipline went out of my life somewhere along the way and I wanted to get it back. And I knew this would help. This was not about so much losing weight, although it is a hell of a byproduct of it. This was about me getting some discipline, getting some habits back in my life that are gonna keep me around for a long time. And it started off with all the prescriptions I take for all the health, keeping me alive. Now I'm gonna tell you what we got done at the end of this, but I'm off a lot of stuff. So this did everything I'd hoped to do and more. And listen, in 30 days, I'm gonna do it again. So starting August 1st, we're gonna do it again, and this time the wife's coming along. Guys, I hope you're in this video for the long haul too. I do tend to ramble a little bit, but I got a lot on my mind. I got a notepad and my phone notepad here. So I wanna go through everything that go over everything I went through so you guys can know. I'm not coming at this as, like I said, someone that's just, I wanna try to get in shape, wanna get in a little, you know, whatever, have some fun. I want a little challenge in my life, whatever. No, this was something that was life or death for me and I wanted to get it done, okay? So in case you don't know what 75 hard is, which I would hope you do if you're actually searching for this video, but it is 2 45-minute workouts, and one of those workouts have to be outdoors. It can be as simple as walking outdoors. It could be simple as walking on a treadmill indoors. 1 gallon of water a day, which was the biggest pain in my ass of any of all this. I hate water, and you cannot skirt it. You cannot add flavoring to it. You don't add electrolytes to it. You can't add the sugar-free Mio crap in it. Plain ass water, and it drove me up a wall. I hated it. And what was even worse was having to pee constantly. If you did not get that water in early enough in the day, you were up all night hitting the restroom, all right? So that was a very hard part, and it really instilled the discipline to get shit done because I did not want to do that every day. I don't care about the workouts, I didn't care about the reading, blah, blah, blah. I did not want to drink that water every day. So I had the discipline to get it done though. All right, 10 pages of nonfiction. You got to read it. Physical book. Guys, have it in your hands. I read 5 books during this challenge. That is 5 more than I damn near read my whole life. Even in school, I used to get Cliff Notes to get through my books, right? I am not a big reader, but I tell you what, that is definitely something I'm taking from this. I had so much enjoyment reading those books. Extreme Ownership, a couple books from Pete Carroll, old SC coach, whatever. You'll see them in the overlay here. I really enjoyed that reading process. So it's something I'm gonna stick with. It'll surprise you. Take a progress pic daily. I did that daily. It was shocking every time you open your phone. Now I'm a content creator, so I'm in my phone constantly, doing cooking content or whatever. But between rib video and chicken video, there was a picture of me half naked with some shorts on in front of a camera every day. It was so. It was challenging to say the least. You got to be on some sort of diet. It doesn't specify which diet. So for me, I kept it a calorie deficit, high protein, low carbs, low fat. All right. Not keto, not carnivore, nothing. I didn't really name it. I used an app that tracked your food. I put my weight in. It suggested between 2,600 and 2,800 calories a day. I was doing my best to keep it around 2,000 calories because I wanted to lose a little bit of weight with this. So that's where I kept it. No cheat meals and no booze that went along with it. The cheat meals didn't really affect me too much. The booze, I'm not a big drinker, despite what my studio looks like in here. So it really didn't hurt me not to have booze, except for a couple times. I went to a baseball game. I always love a beer with a hot dog at a baseball game. When I'm grilling out back, wouldn't mind to have a beer if everybody's over and doing it. But other than that, it did not affect me. So not a big deal there. So that covers it, guys. Pretty simple, but challenging at the same time, right? These are things you don't do in your normal day to day. If you miss one of these things, you have to start over again. My suggestion to you is get the 75 Hard app. I believe it's $6, one-time fee. Get that app. It's very important because not only gives you your daily checklist, if you do not check something off, you forgot, you did your reading, did your workout, got shiny object in the house somewhere, it'll send you an alert by the end of the day saying, hey, get clicking, right? Or get moving. So get that app if you can. For me, being a content creator, I did the next reasonable thing for me, and that's start a new channel, right? So I started CJ's Journey, which obviously you're watching this on right now. And I did daily vlogs, vertical style, just with my cell phone. And it was basically me just kind of talking through my day, what was bugging me, what I had to deal with the day before, what I'm gonna deal with in the day after, day of, whatever, right? And then, it ended up with me and Mrs. CJ on our walks, talking about that. And then I'd put my, the day 45 finish, day 75 finish, whatever. I would put that at the end of the vlog. So every day I shot a video, shot a vlog, and it kept me accountable. Now, you're probably not a content creator, so you might have to find a different way of doing it. Throwing it on Instagram, Facebook, any of your social medias, that stuff kind of helps too, because whoever's following you along, whether it be family, friends, people who like your content, whatever, they're gonna root for you. They're gonna send you words of encouragement. They're gonna keep you moving and grooving, right? So seriously, try to find something that's gonna keep you accountable all the way through. You do not want to let those people down. I happen to be very public with this, and I put it on my main channel where I have 179,000 followers, and they knew what I was doing. So I put myself out there to keep me accountable, because in my life, there have been tons of starts, but not enough finishes. So I was gonna make sure I finished this one. One thing that you might have to deal with that I did not have to deal with is a 9-to-5 job. I'm self-employed content creator, right? I can kind of move and groove throughout my day. I don't have to be stuck at a desk from 8 to 5 or whatever it is. And so if I didn't get up at 6 a.m. every day to go work out because I wasn't trying to get to work by a certain time, I would get through my morning work, my emails, editing, whatever, blah, 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 then go hit my garage gym. The walks would come later in the evening, or sometimes in the morning. I did not go balls out crazy on this journey, right? I was looking for something that would be sustainable for life, okay? Running marathons, running sprints up and down hills, all that crap is not sustainable for me in life. It's nothing I want to do. I don't get a runner's high, any of that crap. So my outdoor workout pretty much the whole time consisted of walks. Whether I was walking with my wife or walking by myself, I would walk for 45 minutes. You know, kind of had a pattern through the neighborhood, and that's what I would do. And I felt good about that. I would get my heart rate up, I would get the blood pumping, I'd get some sun on me, whatever, okay? There were times, even in Southern California here where I'm at, that I had to walk in the rain. It happens, you ain't gonna melt, you're not that sweet, okay? So, rain or shine, you're out there doing your stuff. My garage gym, pretty simple. I have dumbbells, I have a bench press, a squat rack, elliptical, Peloton, which I don't really use because I don't like riding bikes, but it's Mrs. CJ's, it's in the garage. So I had everything I needed to get a workout in. But seriously, guys, if you go get a couple dumbbells, right? Maybe a yoga mat, something like that, you can do any kind of workout that you want to do. However your strength is, get some 10-pound dumbbells, get some 5-pound dumbbells. I started at 5-pound dumbbells. I'm a big boy, right? Pretty strong, but I worked my way in. I did not want to hurt myself throughout the journey, so I worked slowly up the chain of dumbbells. You guys can do it. Jump rope, get a jump rope, get going. They're simple things you do. You don't have to pay for a gym if you don't want, even though I know they're pretty inexpensive gyms out there. You check them out, but I set it up in the garage. You can set it up in your room. Just get working out, 45 minutes. I have this Whoop band that tracks your heart rate, sleep, all that stuff. And I can set in there, I'm working out for 45 minutes. And that's what I did. Pay attention to it, throw my headphones on, get going. So again, didn't go crazy, just did what was within me. Obviously I pushed a bit, but I wasn't trying to kill myself down there because I wanted something sustainable, right? The challenge of this, or the discipline, the challenge, whatever, it's gonna keep me going. So all that to say is you may have to work this around your schedule. It's just, it is what it is. If it's something you want, you'll find time to get it done. Keep that in mind when you're starting to, plan for this. You gotta figure out timing wise. And for me, stuff is always getting in the way. We have 5 kids in our family. There's always something going on. So I had to work around my schedule too, even though I'm self-employed. I had things to do, I had catering, blah, blah, blah. You just gotta find a way to get it done. You have from morning till midnight to get your stuff done, and you'll find a way. All right, it's just that simple. I found ways to integrate both reading and my workout. I was running late one day, and so I grabbed my book. Part of my warm up for my walk or my workout in the gym is I pace back and forth in the garage. I used to do it with my dumbbells, whatever, and just keep walking. Well, I needed to get my reading in, so I just grabbed my book and paced back and forth while reading my book. So you'll find ways to get things done, and I actually found that I really enjoyed that. And it cut about 20 minutes out of my day. They've said the average of reading 10 pages is 15, 20 minutes. That saved the 20 minutes of my day by combining the workout and the reading. You just gotta be careful which way you're walking and kind of have your peripherals on so you don't walk into a wall, or in this case, Mrs. CJ's car, who was in my car in the garage. I did get pretty creative with the working out, using her car as a mirror, like a form mirror. So I'd be out there curling and looking at it. So that was pretty fun. Kind of gone through a lot of stuff here, but one thing I do want to mention is kind of goes along with the going balls out on this. This will take a toll on your body, especially if you're not in any kind of shape, not used to working out, used to running, nothing, or walking or whatever. All right. I was dog tired all the time, and I was happy about it because it means I was doing something. But there were days where just walking hurt, like my legs did not want to work. Just gotta take one step. It was tough to do. So you gotta get yourself mentally strong. And again, it goes with not going crazy with it, because if you go crazy with it at the start and you hurt yourself or you can't move or something, you're just, whatever, you pull a hammy, you got to start over again. So take it slow and easy, ramp yourself up into it. Don't go crazy, because it's the surest way to mess you up and trip you up along the way. Just a little something from me to you, okay? Now, one of the coolest things that happened during this whole thing is I went under 300 pounds. I stepped on a scale and got to 298. Now that's still pretty big, right? But The fact that I got under 300 pounds for the first time in probably about 15 years, that was a big deal to me. It kind of added a little validity to doing this, right? It was, pretty emotional moment, all right? I'm an emotional guy anyway, but, that's just, one of those very cool things that happened that I've been working towards. And I originally started a goal to have 50 pounds off by July 1st. I ended up getting 48 pounds off. So I've kind of reset my goal for, the next few months till October 1st to get a total of 70 pounds off. So I'm still working at it. One thing, I watched a few of these 75 hard videos on YouTube and the completions and all that. And one guy was saying that when he got done with it, he was like, I'm gonna go have a pizza, right? And he said it was very unfulfilling for him to have that first bite of pizza. He was looking forward to it, but he kind of got past everything and lost the craving. That guy was 178 pounds when it was all said and done. A 300 pounder, took a bite of pizza, that craving would be quenched. Like, that was awesome. So that kind of brings you back to where I'm at with, I went to Vegas last weekend. I knew what I was gonna do. I knew that I was gonna eat some good food. I was gonna have dessert with my meals. I knew I was gonna drink, and not as heavily as before because I got buzzed a whole lot sooner because I hadn't been drinking for months. But I knew what I was doing to my body during that whole weekend. I jacked up my stomach pretty hard. I put on 5 pounds over that weekend. So from Wednesday to Sunday, or basically Monday morning, I put on 5 pounds. So was it very counterproductive to what I was doing with the 75 hard? Yes, but again, I'm a grown ass man. I'd made that decision and I'm gonna work it off. I'm living with my decision. I knew what I was doing. It just, I still have the food weakness. Like, I love food. And it really sucks because I'm a cook, a chef here, internet chef. I cook constantly. So that was one hard thing I had to do during the 75 hard. If I made something, I'd probably have a bite, on the camera, like, oh my God, this is the best thing I've made in the whole world, right? But then it would be put aside. I would track that bite on my calorie counter, which was very difficult to do. I would ballpark it, but I put it on there, right? And, it's just one of those things, guys. This challenge is not for everyone, okay? Do not say, well, I'm gonna give that a try, because you're gonna fail. Either you're gonna fucking do it or you're not. It's very important to you to understand that this is not a try thing. If you got it in you to get it done, to want it, and not to sound like old football coaches, but you gotta get it done. You gotta want every bit of it. You gotta embrace every bit of it. There's an old saying out there, embrace the suck. This sucks. This whole thing sucks. For 75 days, you're tracking, planning, eating, drinking, running, walking, working out, lifting weights, all that crap. And it sucks. But boy, did I feel good when it was done. On that 75th day, and I shot my 75 vlog, I got emotional on it. All right, dude, like I said, a lot of starts in my life and not enough finishes. So I finished this. Now, some things I did for the diet, I meal prepped a bit, right? But that was kind of tough because, like I said, I cook for a living. So do your best to plan it out. I ate a lot of the same things, right? My coffee was the same. My eggs were the same. The lunches, I put some lunch meat and some cheese together and some, non-fat or non-carb crackers, like the little cheese cracker things, made of cheese. Anyway, I ate a lot of the same crap the whole way just because it was easier for me to track, understand, know, want, deal with, right? My cravings for sweets, obviously I have a sweet tooth, right? I quenched that craving, 2 things, sugar-free Jell-O, strawberry. I like the strawberry the best. And Ready Whip, in the can, whipped topping. Together, 1 serving of each was 25 calories. So when I get that craving in the evening and I, would go for some Oreos, I did that a lot. I can invest in Jell-O right now, or I feel like I have already. That's one of those things. There's no substitute for booze. So if you're craving booze on this one, just know you're screwed unless you want to try the non-alcohol beer which I don't really care for. I don't like beer enough to want to drink it without having some kind of benefit of a buzz. So I stay away from that stuff. So wasn't a big deal to me one way or another. I took supplements. I took daily vitamins. I took creatine. I did magnesium, potassium gummies because I was cramping up a little bit in there. But that also had to do with the blood pressure medication I was on and the gallon of water. It was kind of counteracting and jacking my body up. So I was waking up with Charlie horses and cramps and everything. Check with your doctor before you start this, especially if you're on any kind of pills or anything like that. It will affect you. Protein shakes, the ones that I already made. I was buying the Fairlife ones, the 42 grams of protein, because I was trying to get about 200 grams of protein in me a day, which is very difficult to do, especially if you don't eat a lot. I am diabetic, so I did take Ozempic through this whole way. I've been on Ozempic for a couple years. My weight hasn't really been affected too much with it, but it's got my A1C down to 5.3. So I'm gonna keep on the Ozempic train. Estrogen blocker and testosterone promoter supplements that I got off of Amazon. I'll have links for all those down below for anything that I did through this whole journey. You want to check them out, you click on it. All right. But again, before you start any of that crap, check with your doctor, of course. What else? So going back to the medications. Here's what I was able to drop by the time I got done with 75 hard. I dropped the metformin for the diabetes because I was taking that along with the Ozempic. I dropped the blood pressure medication because my blood pressure has been great. I had it checked, I got labs done, the whole bit. I went through my doctor, so it wasn't like I was just like, screw it, I'm done. I was taking a cholesterol pill, that's done, right? Heartburn pill, I take it once a week, maybe twice a week, when it's supposed to be 2 times a day. So just when I feel a little twinge or I have a little something spicy, I'll take it. I take stuff for rosacea because, you know, big boys get red skin. I'm still taking that because I'm on camera every day and I don't want to look, you know, red, even though I kind of look red with the lighting in here right now. So whatever. To knock all that crap off, definitely well worth the journey I went on for this. And man, the journey ain't over. Right? Like I said, we're going to do 75 hard again. I got this whole month to kind of work on just maintaining, lose a pound a week, whatever, kind of what I've been doing. But guys, I hope this answers any questions or goes through any thoughts that you have. Very raw and basic kind of delivery for you guys. But I'm literally, you know, I got a few notes here just to talk, keep it straight for you guys. But this is just me talking from the heart, maybe a little kind of jumping around a little bit. But again, this is what I experienced and I wanted to share it with you guys. And hey, I hope you comment down below if you have any questions or any thoughts, concerns, whatever. I'd like to keep it going and keep chatting with you guys. And I hope you jump on the channel and be a part of it. The journey ain't over. I still have probably about, I don't call it 30, 40 pounds to lose. And then we're going to start, seeing what's next in life, right? So yeah, guys, listen, I'm proud of myself. I want you to be proud of yourself too. And if this is for you, it's not a try, it's a do. All right. Get shit done when shit needs to be done. That was my motto through this whole damn process. All right. That's it, boys and girls. I'll catch you on the next one.